Hello, I'm Dr. Lori Snyder. I'm the author of Bacterial Genetics and Genomics, and I thought for today's video I would tell you a bit about myself by reading the About the Author section from inside of the book. So I grew up in Clinton, Connecticut, USA, and it is there that my interest in biology started, due in part to my parents. My mother and father met at Yale University Hospital in New Haven, Connecticut, where he was a respiratory therapist and she was a nurse. Our conversations over family dinner made it clear to me that the science lessons I was learning in school had direct application in the real world. In middle school, my father and I made a spirometer for measuring the vital capacity of the lungs in our basement workshop. When it came time for me to decide on universities, my mother and I took a road trip to visit the top places on my list, which solidified my decision to go to the College of William & Mary in Virginia, USA. There I studied both biology and music. When I started, I was determined to be a veterinarian, and also to continue to study guitar, which I'd been playing since I was 10 years old. As I started learning more in my course, I developed a passion for genetics and decided to do a PhD. It was recommended that I first do a master's degree, due to the competitive nature of human genetics PhDs. So I decided to stay at William & Mary for a 2-year program, which came with a stipend and paid my tuition fees. A condition of the stipend was that I taught laboratory classes. This was an excellent opportunity to gain some teaching experience. I wasn't convinced that I would enjoy teaching before I started, but I found it very rewarding, and ever since then I have sought to find a balance in my career between teaching and research, both aspects of academic life that I enjoy. It was during my master's degree that I started my research in bacteriology in a class with Professor Carl Vermeulen. The summer before my class, Dr. V, one of his students, had made a discovery, and he offered us the chance to pursue this research and this discovery in a project. Because of this opportunity, I embarked on my microbiology career, working on Escherichia coli lipopolysaccharide. I was able to present this research at the American Society for Microbiology General Meeting, an awe-inspiring experience due to the size and scope of the conference. When I finished my master's, I applied for PhDs that had strong microbiology and molecular genetics aspects. I found this at Emory University in Atlanta, Georgia, USA. As before, this came with a stipend and my fees paid, in exchange for a bit of teaching. I found an ideal home in which to do my PhD with my supervisor, Professor Bill Schaefer. His group was working on antibiotic resistance, which was a subject important to me, and his research involved molecular genetics. The subject of the research was perfect. My short rotation in the first year went really well. I got some good results and got along well with the other people in the lab and with Bill. My decision to complete my PhD in his group has shaped my career going forward. His research focused on the bacterial species Neisseria gonorrhea, which has remained my focus. A year or so after I started my PhD, the first few fragments of the genome sequence data of this species arrived in Bill's lab, and I started doing the analysis. This began my love of bacterial genetics and genomics, which has been a common thread in my research ever since, ultimately leading to the writing of this book. As I was writing my PhD thesis for Bill, I remember him remarking on the quality of my writing and that I might have a future in academic writing. I have always carried that supporting comment from him with me, and it has been an inspiration throughout writing this book and other works. Since my PhD at Emory, I have been involved in several genomics projects at the University of Oxford, UK, and University of Birmingham, UK, during my postdoctoral training, and now at Kingston University, where I have been a senior lecturer, reader, and associate professor. Thank you for listening. I do hope that you check out Bacterial Genetics and Genomics. It's available from CRC Press, Taylor and Francis. If you would please like and subscribe to my channel. If you have any comments, you can leave them in the comments below, and you might then find that your comments will be answered in a future video.